welcome. I know we're in the process of letting everyone in from the waiting room. So while we're waiting a minute or two for everyone to arrive, a wonderful hello from chilly Boston. And if you'd like to introduce yourself, say hello and put where you're zooming in from in the chat, that would be wonderful. I'd love to know who's with us this evening. And I think this is just one small note of housekeeping before we get going. It looks like almost everyone is muted, but just as a reminder for anyone joining to please keep yourself on mute so we don't have any background noise. That would be really appreciated. Thank you so much. Oh, hello, everyone. Let's see, we've got Colorado, New York, Boston, more Colorado, New Jersey. Wow, someone should have a party in Colorado. We have lots of friends and colleagues there. Oh, Vancouver. Welcome, welcome. New York, Tokyo, Chicago. Hi, Anne. Always lovely to see you. Oh, Carrie, I'm so jealous. You're somewhere warm in Mexico City. Oh, welcome, everyone. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us this evening. Many of you know me, but just to start with an introduction, my name is Suzanne Rommelfanger. I am based in Boston, as mentioned. I'm the Senior Manager of Communications at RISE Travel Institute, and I've been with RISE for about 18 months almost, and I'm very excited to be hosting our first annual general meeting. Although it's not a legal requirement for nonprofit organizations without a membership structure to host one, RISE Travel Institute cares very deeply about transparency and accountability, and is choosing to host an annual meeting every January to inform our constituents of previous performance and future activities. As advertised in our agenda, the meeting is open to the public in addition to our general community. We're going to start this evening with a message from our founder and executive director, Dr. Vinci Ho, followed by a message from our board. Then we'll have committee updates from all of our operational teams, sharing milestones that we've achieved in 2021, our financial status, as well as our impact report. Then we'll have another update from Vinci regarding all new programming for 2022. And last but not least, we'll have future strategic plans and organizational goals in development. Very exciting indeed. So to get things started, I would first like to start our Travel Can Be video.
Travel can be. Sustainable, mindful, local, eco-conscious, ethical, reverent, community enriching, conserving, inclusive, anti-racist, impactful, regenerative. Travel can be a force of positive transformation for both travelers and travel destinations. We are RISE Travel Institute, and we believe that travel can be so much more. We are a female-founded nonprofit educating the present and future generations of mindful travelers. Our mission is to inspire responsible, impactful, sustainable, and ethical travel through education. To do this, we offer a comprehensive online program in sustainable travel, followed by our RISE Experiential Journeys, where students have an opportunity to put theory into practice. To be part of our global community, visit our website to learn more, subscribe, and share this video. And if you're looking to support a forward-thinking organization, help us offer scholarships to underrepresented and underprivileged students by donating at risetravelinstitute.org. Thank you. Let's rise up together and raise our travel standards.
Wow, I that gets me every time. I've seen it before, but I still love that video. I hope you did as well. Just another quick reminder, if everyone could please keep themselves on mute, just so we don't have any background noise. I don't want anyone to miss anything because we've got so much good information and content coming up. So without further ado, I would like to kick this over to Vinci Ho.
Thank you, Suzanne. Can everybody hear me fine? Awesome. So hello, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, everyone. Hey, folks in the Americas. I also see that some of you are calling in from Tokyo, from Hong Kong, Perth, and Wellington. Eliza is here today with us, so thank you for joining us from so far away. Is there anyone from Europe? Aline, are you here? I think Aline is here. So, wow, this was a little late for our friends in Europe, South Asia and Africa. This is the kind of challenge that we have nowadays when we have an international team and an online community spreading across multiple time zones. We try very hard to be as inclusive as possible, yet logistically it is very challenging, but it is a good challenge. So I am going to show a few slides. So give me 1 second if you don't mind. Yes. All right, so welcome again to RISE Travel Institute's first annual meeting. As Suzanne said, we are very excited to share our performance updates and some latest news about our development today. But before we do that, I am aware that while many of you are tourism professionals having a deep knowledge of sustainable and regenerative travel and have been supporting us since our inception, some guests here today might not be familiar with RISE or what travel and education entails. So I'm going to start off by giving a very brief introduction to who we are and what we do. So RISE Travel Institute is a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization with a mission to inspire responsible, impactful, sustainable, and ethical travel through education. I came up with the acronym RISE when I was walking my dogs, Chili and Mango. Sometimes inspirations often come at the most unexpected moments. So before the pandemic hit, the United Nations World Tourism Organization estimates that there were 1.5 billion international arrivals per year. And this number does not include domestic travels. In other words, tourists have an immense consumer power to determine whether we want tourism to be a force of destruction or a force for good. And the reality is, unfortunately, before COVID-19 brought the world to a standstill, over-tourism and unsustainable tourism practices have been affecting host communities around the world. Examples of negative impacts includes overcrowding, increased cost of living, gentrification, cultural appropriation, tourism leakage, modern-day slavery, animal exploitation, loss of biodiversity, environmental degradation, and so on. In recent years, there have been an incredible efforts by various industry players to mitigate tourism's negative impacts on and maximize the benefits for tourism destinations, such as sustainability certification bodies, coalitions, initiatives like the Glasgow Declaration. However, tourists remain largely uninformed about these efforts and their own impacts and what they can do to make their destinations thrive post-COVID. we see there's an urgent need to shift tourism from an extractive, traveler-centric model to a regenerative, community-centered model. And oftentimes, tourists do not mean to do harm. They're just unaware of the impact and lack the knowledge and the tools to travel more consciously. And this is where RISE steps in. Our educational approach is based on the systems thinking framework. So rather than just focusing on the environment, we highlight the interconnectedness between social justice, animal protection, and environmental stewardship in relation to travel, always through an anti-oppression lens. The anti-oppression lens is one of our key differentiators from other sustainable travel courses out there. We'll give more examples of how we apply these systems thinking and anti-oppression lenses in the curriculum and overall content creation in today's meeting. We educate travelers through an online curriculum, trips for our alumni called the Experiential Journeys, social media content, events, and so on. And our curriculum is the heart of RISE Travel Institute. In just 18 months, RISE has been selected as a finalist for 2 industry awards. One was the Activist of the Year category of the Regenerative Travel Impact Awards 2021. And the other one is the Social Impact Award of the Betsy Awards 2022. We are humbled and grateful for the recognition, and we feel motivated to bring our sustainable travel education work to the next level. So in the past 18 months, RISE has also grown from 3 people to a diverse team of over 50 dedicated volunteers as of today. Well, this chat is from October, but it hasn't really changed much. 1 person left the organization, but like 2 more joined. So I now have this dedicated team of volunteers who helped me build this organization from scratch. And we're only a 1-year-old organization, but we already have committees specializing in different parts of operation, for example, curriculum development, partnerships, finance, fundraising, human resources and DEI, events, experiential journeys, content and social marketing, sustainability, information technology, and impact evaluation. I'm super grateful for everyone on the team, and I am also extremely proud of the supportive and inclusive work culture that we've created together. So now I would like to invite Mary Pat Shampo, our board secretary and my teacher and mentor, to say a few words. Mary Pat, are you here?
I am here.
Yay.
I wouldn't miss it. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm Mary Pat Shampo. I direct the program, the master's program in humane education at Antioch University and with the Institute for Humane Education, where I met Vinci and my co-board member, Hyung. I don't know. Oh, there he is. So anyway, I'm speaking to you as the a member of the founding board. And I wrote this down, and I'm going to read it because I sometimes otherwise might just go on and be too tangential. But I'm honored and delighted to be part of the founding board at RISE. As many of you may know, a founding board is often comprised of a few of the leader or founder's trusted friends and colleagues. One never knows what will come up during the first year of a startup, and a person who is launching something as new and innovative as RISE needs friendly ears, capable hands, and willing hearts. It was a great pleasure to serve in this capacity with Hyung, Manuela, and Steve. So please raise your hand. Big shout out to those, to my cohort there on the founding board. You know, well, I'm going off script now, but of course, you don't know what's coming as the leader, but also as the founding board. Usually you have to do a lot of work and drag things along. But in this case, we just had to run as fast as we could to keep up with Vinci. That was our basic job. And it was fantastic. So now we are moving out of the founding board phase and into a working board phase. Not that we didn't work before, but as I said, most of it was keeping up with Vinci. And we are pretty confident that RISE is here to stay. So we have welcomed the fantastic Megan Begley and Amanda Kendall. Please let us know where you are to the board. We're having our first full board retreat in the early part of this year, and we'll keep you posted. Our goal is to hold, lead, and be worthy of this beautiful and important and groundbreaking organization. Thank you. So I think we go back to Vinci.
Oh, sorry, I thought
Were you
Suzanne was
dozing
gonna-
off during my talk?
No. I was just, mesmerized always by your voice. And I thought Suzanne was gonna say a few words before I pick up from her again. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. No, don't worry about it.
Sorry, I was also mesmerized and busy smiling and adding hearts in the chat and
Right. Okay, let me share my screen. Oops. Hey, what's going on? Sorry. This one. Yes. Hey. Can you? Okay. I think technical issues have become part of our everyday life, isn't it? I, for some reason, cannot share my screen, the one that I just shared, so I have no idea what's going on. Let me try to close some of my other windows. Okay. Sorry, excuse me. I'll try to be quick. And I can hear.
You know who we need, Vinci? We need a singer or a musical performer to join the team next, who can do some interlude that's got some grooves to it, so we can just have some wonderful something to listen to for our 2022 new team members for the pods.
Can you actually all see the slide that says curriculum development?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so let me begin. All right, so again, I cannot improvise as Mary Pat does, so I also need to read from a script, but I'll try not to read it. Not look at the camera too often. So our curriculum development committee is mainly comprised of our senior advisors and myself being the lead. After months of preparations and teamwork, in June 2021, we launched our inaugural program, which is the pilot program. It is a 10-week cohort-based synchronous online certificate program covering a wide range of issues related to sustainability and anti-oppression in travel. As I mentioned earlier, our education approach is based on the systems thinking framework. So rather than just focusing on one aspect of sustainability, we highlight the interconnectedness of everything social, economic, environmental, and and also community development in relation to travel, always through an anti-oppression lens. We were fortunate to be able to gather a stellar group of instructors, both drawing from our RISE team of senior advisors to external contributors and leaders in their respective fields, including Dr. Anu Taranath, faculty of at the University of Washington in Seattle and author of Beyond Guilt Trips, which is the text of our for our pilot program. Dr. Sarah Baxell, Director of Humane Education for Institute for Human-Animal Connection, University of Denver. Dr. Milena Nikolova, Chief Behavior Officer at Behavior Smart and author of Behavioral Economics for Tourism. Teresa Ryder, Director of Business Development at Indigenous Tourism Canada, and Daniel Turner, co-founder and director at Animondial. I know that some of our distinguished instructors are here with us today. So I just want to thank you for being here and for your contribution. In addition to addressing climate change, biodiversity conservation, and the ethics of animal tourism and indigenous tourism as topics covered in our pilot program, we also explore themes such as unpacking power and privilege as travelers and understanding inclusivity and accessibility as we navigate through the world. And one of our students' favorite topics was the ethics of travel photography, taught by our art director and communications ethicist, Devin Barker, who's here today with us. So thank you, a big shout out to you. And then our curriculum development doesn't stop at one program. We're converting our successful pilot program to the new flagship program, and our spring cohort 2022 is now open for registration. We're also expanding our curriculum this year to include new programs and short courses. I'm going to announce what these new courses are in the last part of this meeting, so please stick with us until the very end. Now I'm going to hand this over to Celestina, our student engagement manager, who will be sharing more about who studied with us at this pilot program and the impact of the program. I am going to continue to, like show the slideshow. So Celestina, just jump on. I am going to mute myself, but I will continue to flip the slide.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Celestina. I am from Seattle, Washington, and I'm the University Outreach and Student Engagement Manager here at RISE Travel Institute. Excited to be here with everyone. So a little bit about the student engagement team is we have a total of 4 members that serve on this team, which is myself. We have Christine, Natalie, and also Vinci, of course, helps out in various capacities. And reflecting on 2021, we've had a great year so far, and we saw the successful launch of our pilot program. And this program was a 10-course module that covered topics addressing sustainability and anti-oppression in travel and tourism. A total of 28 students completed the program out of a total of 39 students that were enrolled for a 72% completion rate. In collaboration with the event team and other RISE teams, we also had we were able to collectively design, promote, and host our student conference. And this conference included students presenting and sharing their capstone projects. A total of 19 students completed and presented their capstone project and received their certificate in sustainability and anti-oppression, which can be attached to their LinkedIn profiles and publicly accessible. The student engagement team is also responsible for helping to launch the student alumni LinkedIn group, which is active. While we have strategic plans in the work to make this more interactive, engaging, and productive, this is a great way to connect with our alumni and the general RISE community by posting relevant articles, resources, pieces, and even opportunities to aid in enhanced learning, networking, and connectivity. Regarding impact, our records also indicate that the pilot program had the strongest impact for our student engagement team. While the student conference was, of course, a big success, the 72% completion rate of the pilot program was a big boost and is a great metric to look and measure at for the future programming. And we hope and expect to see the number grow for the future as we expand programming and opportunities. The pilot program informed us about the best strategies to improve our programs for the future. And lastly, I just wanted to say it's been wonderful to see how we've grown and how our visibility has grown and how our team has all of these multifaceted skills to help in other areas and other capacities. I know that the student engagement team helps out in so many other ways. And so I'm just so grateful for this team and for our entire team because I believe this is the embodiment of teamwork, and I'm deeply proud of everyone here. So thank you so much. And it looks like we're going to go to Eva next.
Thank you, Celestina. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. It's sort of a milestone to be here. I am Eva Mossberg. I'm a founding member and the Senior Manager of Strategic Partnerships of RISE Travel Institute. I'll give you a little bit of a backstory. It was the summer of 2020. I had just graduated with a master's certificate in adventure tourism from CSU. And I was waiting tables at a local restaurant due to the pandemic, which we all know totally decimated the travel industry. So I was waiting quite impatiently for things to change, trolling LinkedIn day in and day out. And then one day on said LinkedIn, RISE Travel Institute came along through actually Megan's page. And like a life raft, it felt like, wow, this is something I can hold on to. I'm going to grab onto this. And the rest is history. I will say that RISE Travel Institute really, truly digs deeper than most. I've spent most of my life and career in the fields of hospitality and responsible tourism. And having spent time with this team, working on something I'm so passionate about, broadening my own mind through the work itself and through the completion of the pilot program, it's been so incredibly rewarding. And I am really excited to see the continuation of our trajectory. I remember we started with spreadsheets, keeping track of partners, and now we're in Salesforce. It's quite a big thing. And so since that day, I've rejoined the industry. I'm now working as the North American Community Lead and Partner Coordinator at the Adventure Travel Trade Association, alongside my responsibilities here as Senior Manager of Strategic Partnerships. But we wouldn't be anything without the dedicated work of the rest of my partnership team. You just met Celestina Henriksen and Christine Francois. They are partner account managers. And then myself, Vinci, and Taylor Ruoff, we do the partner outreach team. I'd like to take the opportunity to review our partnership categories and give a shout out to our current partners. First category, this sounds like an awards, like Grammys or something. Educational partners, woo! RISE Travel Institute works together with its educational partners to develop high quality course content for RISE's curriculum. Educational partners have expertise in one or more areas related to sustainable and ethical travel and may contribute content to the pilot program, well, now flagship program, develop standalone thematic or destination courses, and or assist in developing curriculum for experiential journeys. Our current partners include Applause, Ethnica, Good Travel, Rooted, Zublu, El Colectivo 506, and Bhutan Tours and Travels. I do suggest that you look them up. You have their logos. Super grateful to have them on our team and to be on their teams. Next, we have community partners. These are value-aligned organizations that support RISE programs and services through cross-promotion and event partnership. In turn, RISE Travel Institute supports our community partners' mission, messaging, and events. Our current partners include Wonderful, Impact Travel Alliance, and Operation Groundswell. We also have affiliate partners. Current affiliate partners is the Adventure Travel Trade Association. And we were also event partners with Tomorrow's Air, Convene, and Travel Unity. So what is it that attracts partners to become partners of the RISE Travel Institute? Among other things, it allows organizations to become an early adopter of the sustainable travel movement, forge strategic partnerships, create better prepared travelers, be they students at a university or lifelong learners, with the help of our educational toolkit. And they gain a competitive advantage by enhancing their current offerings. And of course, the support and sharing of RISE's unique anti-oppression lens. So if you or someone you know would be interested in learning more, please contact us at partnerships or Eva at risetravelinstitute.org. And in closing, I'd like to thank everybody who's here, everybody on the team, and quote Helen Keller, who's one of my favorite poet, is that correct? Writers, authors? I'm not sure what her title is, but she said a whole lot of really good things. And one of the things that really stands out to me is that alone, and I quote, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Thank you.
Eva, sorry, everyone. I need to keep my fingers away from the keyboard. Apparently, I keep messing up with the presentation slides. I will do better. Sorry about that.
All good. Next, I think we have Natalie on behalf of Amy, Content and Marketing.
Hello, everyone. My name is Natalie, and I found RISE from Mary Pat, since we're sharing our stories, and have never looked back. She found me when I was still living abroad, and I'm in the Humane Education Master's Program. at Antioch, and with the love of travel, here we are. And I'm absolutely happy to be part of the team. I'm a written content producer and strategist here at RISE, and I'm representing Amy Hager, our Senior Manager of Content and Social Marketing Strategist for RISE. As a written content producer, I'm responsible for producing written content, whether that be writing articles, captions, or emails as they pertain to the content, media, and communications team. In this role, I work with my colleagues to plan out new articles, social media campaigns, and engagement strategies. And in addition, I work with the student engagement team and help support them in any way I can. This is something that a lot of our members do. So yeah, all our members love to work with each other in different teams. We divide up the tasks so that we can learn and explore new skills. Not only are we wanting to educate our students with our programs, it is really important to help our committee members learn new skills and be exposed to different things to expand on their personal professional development. We currently have 12 members in our committee who all work very hard to support one another. And in this year or last year in 2021, our blog on our Medium channel had 19 thought leader articles published. Some examples are Decolonizing Our Mindsets During Native American Heritage Day, Rethinking Tourism in an Overcrowded World, World Refugee Day, and Tourism as a Positive Force for Local Communities. You can check out all of our published articles on our site, risetravelinstitute.org, under resources. In addition, the Rise Traveler Unpacking Conversations of Sustainable Travel podcast campaign has created 15 episodes, which are streamed on Facebook, repurposed on YouTube, and articles about each session are written and will be published later. You can also check out all the links for the podcast at our website under resources. We have 297 follows on Facebook, 561 on Instagram, 833 followers on LinkedIn, and 60 on Twitter, which isn't our main social media page, so that is why the number is so low on Twitter. And our campaign that had the highest impact would be the follow-up from the pilot program. We had a From the Classroom campaign, which highlighted quotes from instructors. We also featured and will continue to feature students' capstones and those who received scholarships. It gave us a chance to bring together so many people in the community and share knowledge from our pilot program, which is now rebranded as our flagship program moving forward. I'd like to offer a call to action. So we will continue to create captivating and thought leadership content in 2022. We already have most of the first quarter fully ready to launch. And so we ask you to share anything you see on our social media pages, help us spread the word, and educate the world about mindful traveling. I've been a member of RISE Travel Institute for 6 months now, and I'm really proud of everyone's efforts and collaboration in this work. I'm excited to be a part of and continue to witness the ripple effects of traveler education through systems thinking and anti-oppressive lenses. If you need to reach out to our communications team, please feel free to reach out to me, Natalie, at risetravelinstitute.org. That's my email. And that's it for the Committee of Communications. And I'll pass it over to Meredith for events.
Hi, everyone. Welcome and thank you for being here. My name is Meredith Hauser. I'm the events manager here at the RISE Travel Institute. Throughout 2021, we had 6 team members, just to give you a little background on the events committee. And as bandwidth changes, we are looking forward to growing in 2022. And I would just like to take this moment to express my sincere gratitude to all of my amazing team members on the events committee, to all of my amazing team members here at RISE, but I'm really proud of everything we've accomplished on the event side of things this year. We hosted a number of successful events in 2021. It was really our first full year of events, from 4 prospective student info sessions as a precursor to our pilot program, to a 1-year anniversary party, to our first annual student conference, which was a massive undertaking and overall went really, really well, and a post-pilot program celebration at which we screened a documentary entitled Gringo Trails. And our last big event of the year was a virtual refugee art exhibition, which was a collaborative event with an incredible organization called Love Without Borders. And through this event, we received over $930 in donations and brought over 270 people together as a result of all of these events. Sorry, that 930 was a result of, it was donations throughout all of these events. The Love Without Borders event was definitely the one that had the highest impact. We sold over $890 worth of paintings for the refugee artists that we were supporting with that event, and raised over $585 for Love Without Borders through Eventbrite donations. And again, the first annual student conference was definitely our biggest and most logistically complicated event to date, but that went off without a hitch, and we heard some really wonderful and impactful presentations from our students. So immense gratitude to everyone who put such a huge amount of work into that. With regards to 2022 and looking ahead, we're still ironing out our 2022 events calendar, and look forward to sharing more on that soon. Our focus is expanding and growing our network and getting RISE to be a part of larger and more collaborative events with other organizations that share our values. So we're really looking forward to sharing more on that front and continuing to grow our events team and grow the kinds of events that we're doing in this coming year. So that's my pretty brief update, but I just wanted to conclude by saying that I am honored to be a part of this inspiring team, and look forward to delivering more great content in the coming year. Oh, and I'll pass it to Jody to give an update on our experiential journeys.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Meredith. My name is Jody, and I'm the Experiential Travel Manager responsible for RISE's Experiential Journeys. The Experiential Journeys Committee is just me at the moment, with much appreciated input from Vinci and our senior advisor, Lana Bial. As we get closer to our first experiential journey in August, I'll be expanding the team and look forward to having interested colleagues help with the planning. 2021 was kind of a quiet year for the Experiential Journeys Committee, since we made the decision to postpone our planned journey to Puerto Rico due to the ongoing pandemic. Our hope is to be able to move forward with Experiential Journey Summer 2022 to Guatemala. We'll invite alumni from our first flagship program cohort, as well as upcoming students. So if you're thinking about registering, it's one more reason that you should definitely do that. I've started working with a value-aligned award-winning destination partner at Nika Travel to produce a really exciting program. Working with the incredible RISE Travel Institute team has been really inspiring as I continue to find my own place in the ever-changing world of travel and international education. This is truly one of the best teams I've worked on, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next. And I'm excited to share the upcoming experiential journey with flagship program students and continue our learning and growth together. Hopefully COVID doesn't postpone that one as well. That's all from me for now. And now on to Kathy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kathy, and I am the Corporate Engagement Manager. I lead the Finance and Fundraising Committee at RISE, which currently has 4 members. Me, Megan, our Fundraising and Donor Engagement Manager, as well as the newest member of the board. We also have Thomas and Ishmael, who manage our accounting, and Jay, our grant writer. So in 2021, 30 unique individual donors supported RISE, 5 of which were monthly donors. Our monthly donors actually contributed almost 25% of our total individual donation revenue. We greatly appreciate our monthly donors and the impact they have on our student tuition grant and scholarship fund. Last year, we were able to offer 5 tuition grants to our pilot program, thanks to the generosity of all of our individual donors. As Meredith mentioned earlier, in close collaboration with the events team, we held 3 virtual fundraising events in 2021, our inaugural student conference, a virtual art exhibition for Love Without Borders for refugees, and a Giving Tuesday live broadcast of RISE's podcast, The RISE Traveler. Our Giving Tuesday campaign was the most successful of the year and raised over $800 for RISE, which will allow 2 additional students to receive tuition grants to the flagship program this coming year. In terms of grants, as a very young organization, it was challenging to get much traction last year, but we will continue to explore grant and corporate sponsorship opportunities in this upcoming year. So Thomas, our accounting manager, is now going to help us run through our finances from 2021 in more detail.
All right, hello everybody. Let me share my screen here. My name is Thomas Kelchik. I have been the accounting manager here with RISE since October of 2020. So I am here to walk you through all the fun stuff, our finances. All right, so the first one that I will show you is the financial position, which is this, basically the most general overview of where all the money sits. So our total assets here came to $19,000. This is basically all the cash that we have in our bank accounts. The liabilities comes to $4,255. And this was basically the seed money helping the organization get started. And this is a long-term liability. So this is, we have to pay this back. But since it is long-term, we don't have a set date as to when that needs to be paid back yet. So combining these two gives us the total equity, or in other words, basically the worth of the organization comes to $14,745. And then this statement of activity gives a little bit more detail as to kind of where all the money came from. So grants and contributions, the total came to $11,849. And then with program services, we gained $11,279, and clearly the majority of that came from our tuition payments from the pilot program, giving a total revenue of just over $23,000. And then down to the expenses, we have a total of just over $8,000 in expenses, with the majority of that coming from the payments to the instructors here with the $3,500, as well as the tuition scholarships here at $1,250. And this gives us the net revenue of $14,949. So that is where we are at currently as of 2021. So a few things to note going forward. We did not travel in 2021, as we had already discussed. So we will be planning to travel in 2022, as well as the prices for the tuition will be increasing as well. So we should see some numbers. We should see quite a bit of movement given those two factors going forward. So that's what I have for you guys today. If there are any questions on specifics, feel free to reach out to me in the chat. I can also put my email on there. If anybody has specific questions, you can email me as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. I just want to say to everyone in attendance today, as a nonprofit, and especially as a very young one, we of course rely on the generosity of our donors to support our programs and to help us expand access to our programs to more people in the world of travel. So thank you to all of you for supporting RISE Travel Institute. We deeply appreciate it. If you aren't already, please consider becoming a monthly donor. For as little as $5 a month, donations help provide tuition grants and travel scholarships to students with demonstrated financial need. So thank you again. Your support has brought us this far, and I'm very excited for what 2022 holds. I will now pass it off to John and Madoka.
Hi everyone, my name is Madoka Yamaji, and I'm an assistant manager of people and culture at RISE. I've been with RISE since June 2021 and working closely with Vinci to build the HR department and expand HR work to make the organization a better place to work for all volunteers. John Stewart, our manager of people and culture, joined RISE in October 2021 to do more high-level HR work, such as setting HR policies and other strategic plans. Our organization has grown so much, especially in the past year. We currently have 50 committed volunteers organized into 11 focused operational committees with diverse backgrounds. We have white, Black, South Asian, East Asian, Hispanic, biracial, LGBTQ members, and colleagues with disabilities. There are 11 countries of origin and 15 languages spoken on our team. The RISE team spans 9 time zones, all members working remotely. We have been working hard to develop HR processes and create structured processes like the onboarding training, as we consider they will help colleagues to gain needed knowledges and skills to work successfully at RISE. Our wish is that they grow with RISE through volunteering and continue to learn as sustainability and anti-abletion advocates. We work hard to create a compassionate and inclusive environment where everyone feels supported and encouraged to learn and grow. Thank you. And now we have Peter to represent Sustainability Committee.
Hi, everyone. My name is Peter, and I'm the Sustainability Officer here at RISE. I've been with RISE since October, and I work with a small community, including Christine and Vinci assisting from time to time. Right now, we're working on our frameworks and policies for our climate action plan. And recently, we've become signatories of Tourism Declares a Climate Emergency and the Glasgow Declaration. And we're also, like I said, working on a climate action plan. So what those two things are, is that there are tourism organizations, companies, and professionals committed to delivering climate action plans, pledging to cut emissions in half by 2030, and just pretty much having emissions and climate action and tourism together. So these vital declarations reaffirm RISE's commitment to carbon neutrality, achieving carbon neutrality through every level of our organization, addressing climate change and sustainability. I am especially excited about contributing to this year's Experiential Journeys as well. That's all I have.
Thank you, Peter. Next up would be Christelle, right? Christelle, you have your own deck to show.
Yeah, absolutely. I will share my screen. See if this works. Can you see the slide deck in full screen now? Awesome. So hi, everyone. My name is Christelle Isaka. I joined the RISE Travel Institute team as an impact evaluation specialist this past fall. All of the other great leads have already covered so much of the really great accomplishments that we've had this past year. So I wanted to just take a few minutes to talk a little bit about how under the impact evaluation umbrella, we're pulling together all of these really great accomplishments as part of our overarching goals, objectives, and key performance indicators. So just a quick overview, we do have these 5 long-term organizational goals. I'm going to sort of break them down more specifically. And under each of those 5 goals, we've also tied them to key sustainable development goals as well. Our first goal is to inspire behavioral change that leads to sustainable travel. So that includes things like, as folks have mentioned, our incredibly successful pilot program that had a completion rate of 72%. For students coming out of that program, we also found that 100% of those students were able to identify concrete ways that they could integrate what they've learned from that pilot program into their lives and their travels. So we know that there is a clear impact that our programs are having on people and on the people that they interact with. We also know those participants said they would be very likely to recommend the pilot program to their network, which is really exciting as we move into more flagship program iterations in 2022. So beyond this year and beyond, we're looking at program expansion. We're looking at registration tracking as well as setting goals around engagement on what that looks like. Our second goal is around creating a more equitable and sustainable world. A lot of this is around processes for prioritizing local and fair trade suppliers. As we're going into this year, we're kind of really looking at key performance indicators around how experiential journey plans are looking to do that. As Peter mentioned, the sustainability team goals fit into this as well, and always continuing to share resources, information, and encouragement so that we can have a lasting impact on the people that we interact with. Goal 3 is to grow a community of mindful travelers. I know a lot of folks have touched on social media numbers. I put it into percentages just in case that might resonate with folks. We have seen tremendous growth across all of our social media platforms for RISE Travel Institute, and that's certainly something that is a testament to the hard work of our communications folks, and we're excited to see that growth continue. A lot of content we've been putting out, as folks mentioned, and great progress in how we're creating partnerships and tracking partnerships as well, things that we know will continue into 2022 and beyond. Our 4th goal is around supporting diversity and equal opportunity, thinking about what our grants look like, about some of our content, the accessibility of our content, and as we move into this year and beyond, continuing that focus on what funding sources look like, as well as operationalizing a diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy that covers different domain areas of what our operations look like. And then our final goal is to become a sustainable nonprofit. So that includes some of the logistics around our operations, many of the things that Thomas covered as well around financials. And our goal for this year is to create a more robust 5-year organizational plan that includes financial plans and financial projections. So many exciting things that have been happening, and there's a lot to come as well. So I'm very excited about that. One last thing before I wrap up, I was thinking I'd want to share some testimonials that came out of our pilot program. So there's a lot of text. Maybe you can just pick 1 or 2 and read them if you'd like. They resonated with me, and I get the sense that they'll resonate with a lot of you as well. So take a minute and see if you want to pick one out to read. When we think about impact evaluation, it's really important to show our growth and be able to show our growth and success through numbers. And we've certainly shown tonight that we can do that. But these testimonials really highlight the breadth and depth of our success and the impact that we have through the eyes of our students. And I think that's really exciting. So we'll be uploading the impact report onto our website soon, where you'll be able to revisit some of the things that I skimmed through very briefly, as well as points that other team members have made today. So stay tuned for that coming soon.
Well, thank you, Christelle. That was super impressive. And I almost want to volunteer that we might be able to share those student testimonials out as part of our thank you email for joining us tonight, because I don't want anyone to have felt rushed and miss anything. They're just really amazing. And I think we're happy to share them. So thank you for all of that. This marks the end of our reporting section of the meeting. I do want to be mindful of our time, but we do have some very exciting things to come. So, I'm sorry. I thought I heard someone. I want to pass it back to Vincy now, who's going to share what's on the horizon for 2022. So please don't go anywhere. We've got some very exciting updates to come. Over to you, Vincy.
Sure, thank you, Suzanne. Yeah, I think someone has unmuted themselves. Well, never mind. Suzanne, I count on you to do a little bit of housekeeping. All right, so thank you, Suzanne and team. In the remaining time, I have some really exciting news for you. In summer 2022, well, the first thing coming from an educator, I'm really excited about this one. We'll be launching our first teacher training program for K-12 teachers, so that the concept of sustainability and anti-oppression in travel can reach educators, children, and youth from a very young age, and their parents as well. So Natalie and Carly and Mary Pat will be working on this with me. So for the RISE education curriculum, as I said, there is not just the flagship certificate program. We are adding the teacher training, and we will also be adding new short courses on issues, and also new short courses on destinations. In 2022, we are going to at least introduce 5 short courses on issues. And the short courses on issues include ethical storytelling for travelers with Joanna Haugen of Rooted, ocean travel, sustainability and conservation with Lauren Sparks of Zublu Diving. Thank you, Lauren. I know that you're here today. How to be an ethical digital nomad with our pilot program alumni, Carrie Pfeiffer of We Travel, who's also here today. And I am going to be the instructor for 2 courses, one on travel and migration, and the other on cultural humility and cultural consciousness in travel. And as you can see on the screen, those are some other topics that we have covered previously, which are also going to be listed as short courses as well in our curriculum. Regarding the destination course series, we are going to launch Conscious Travel in Guatemala with Etnica in Q1. Then throughout the year, we'll be adding Conscious Travel in Bhutan with Bhutan Tours and Travels, Costa Rica with El Colectivo 506, New Zealand, South Africa, Peru, and Thailand with Good Travel Foundation, and Bermuda with Marcel Laurent, leader for Impact Travel in Bermuda. Through these destination courses, travelers can have a more profound understanding of the history and culture of their future destinations and learn about the current issues such as social, environmental, economic, and political issues that are affecting the host society nowadays. They will become more culturally sensitive and eager to foster respectful, peaceful, and meaningful connections with the locals. So this is what we're hoping the travelers to take away from our destination courses. The destination course series is also a curriculum. It is a curriculum development strategy, but it is also a part of a larger DEI strategy to provide a platform for our local partners to tell their own stories. It is also a strategy to achieve one of our 5 organizational goals, as mentioned by Chris Bell just now, to create a more equitable and inclusive world. And we do that by providing direct financial empowerment to our local partners through student enrollment, especially in places where the tourism sector is still struggling to recover from the pandemic. We hope to continue to expand our curriculum and cover a good number of some of the most important or some of the most popular tourism destinations in the years to come. Another exciting thing to share with all of you is that as you probably know by now, RISE is committed to inclusion, accessibility, and anti-oppression. And for this reason, we'll be introducing a new pricing model from 2022 onwards, in addition to our tuition grants and travel scholarships. It is a tiered pricing model that offers discounts to residents in lower income economies, and will also offer payment plans to make our course more accessible to everyone. For details, please go to our website. There's a whole page that explains this pricing model under the program section, so feel free to check it out. Last but not least, as an institute, with our senior advisor, Geneviève Huneau, we are actually contemplating the possibility of setting up a research department with our program alumni and create a peer-reviewed publication in the future. But this won't be in the agenda in 2022. We'll be sure to share more when we have a concrete plan. So that's all for what is in the pipeline for 2022. Please stay tuned for more information about our new courses on our website. We also encourage you to support our programs by enrolling in our courses and tell people about us. If you're and expert in any areas related to our curriculum and would like to collaborate, please feel free to reach out to us. And also, there are so many different ways to support us. Be a donor, be a student, be an ambassador. If you really like what we do and want to be part of it, you can also apply to be a volunteer. We are currently looking for a fundraising and donor engagement manager. We are looking for a PR person, specialist, and we are also looking for an accounting manager who is a US person, because we have an accounting manager based in South Africa already, and we need someone who is here in the US who will be able to help us manage various accounts. So these are all the things that I have to say, Suzanne. I will pass it back on to you. I'll stop sharing my screen. So thank you everybody for coming to this meeting. I am really grateful to see all of you here. Suzanne, back to you.
Thank you, Vinci. I mean, this is just wow. I'm I'm a bit speechless, but good thing I've got some notes here to close out. I really want to thank everyone for joining us today. This was our first annual general meeting, as mentioned. So to reiterate a bit of what Vinci just noted, whether you're a donor, a volunteer, one of our students, an alumni, a partner, or any sustainable travel and anti-oppression ally, we really appreciate your time and support. And we hope you've learned more about RISE Travel Institute. Even I learned something new, which I love, about how much we've accomplished this year and how your contributions have helped and will continue to help advance RISE's mission to inspire responsible, impactful, sustainable, and ethical travel through education. I also want to thank all of my colleagues, not only those of you that are here this evening at this meeting that have prepared for and reported on all of our successes and opportunities for each operational area, but additionally to every individual team member and our contributions. So whether you've been with us since our founding team or since our founding, or one of our newest team members who maybe just onboarded in 2022, we couldn't have reached where we are today without the collective contributions of all the dedicated volunteers. It's been an absolute privilege and honor to be part of the founding team and be part of this growth. I am truly and deeply inspired by Vinci's leadership and her vision for a world where travel is a force for positive transformation for both travelers and travel destinations. So thank you all once again for joining. I hope you have a wonderful evening or morning or day, wherever you are. And I really look forward for you to join us at our next event. So thank you once again.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.